Alright, let's make a few of these outside where I'm not going to depressurize my base. So, large panel arrow, plating, small panels and hatch, small panels arrow, monochrome, two-tone. That's all the flat. So what is flat? Flat just really exactly what it says. Yep, it's perfectly flat. Alright, I think I prefer the plating over the flat. Yeah. This is a bit more interesting. Geometry straight. Geometry T mirrored. Oh, so this one's the one where you can do your little patterns around the edges. So I could put like a line that goes around the edge of the outside of the room. Did I miss two-tone? Is that what happened? Small panels, two-tone. Oh, yeah, that's kind of nice too. Oh, that's interesting. It gives a varied tone across. It's actually 3 tones, not 2 tones. Huh. Hmm. Okay. Let's go put our padded walls up anyway. Oh, actually, the whole time I was doing this, I should be making more steel plate. I can go back in there and make that soon. So I think step 1 should be let's get some lights in this ceiling. Then I'll start working on a stairwell. I just need to make sure that the lights are put on their own circuit. So I've got to start thinking about circuitry now, and being somewhat sensible about it. Yeah, so the reason I need to make the floor now is I'll have to put the floor blocks down in order to have any ability to build stuff on top of this. This is oriented the correct way for me to put lights on it, but not for anything else. Although, I'm debating whether to put the lights on these bits or on the supports. I think the supports make more sense, because then it's a bit easier to cable and not get in the way of the cabling that I need for the top, the stuff up top. Yeah, I think that's the way to go. Keep with the industrial feel. Well, yeah, the angled lights I could mess with too. Steel plate, that's what I was doing. Steel sheets. How do I want to do these lights? I need to make some lights. And do I want to make a new logic setup for these lights that's independent? Maybe? So I was thinking of having the lights underneath here set up automatically, and then the lights in the living space be some lights which I flick on as I walk past, sort of thing, and flick off. Need to bring some more iron in here. Oh yeah, I am going to need a lot more cables. That's a good point too. I'll probably need some heavy cable when I start working out my power distribution stuff as well. What's my favorite food? I don't have a specific favorite food as such. I'm very much a glutton for variety when it comes to food. I'd rather eat a different thing each day and sometimes eat things I don't like than eat the same thing that I love every day. See ya, Caberman. Yeah, Ruff, there are some merits to the clip-through style stuff with building that Valheim has, but there are some things I dislike about it when you're playing a game with realism that's attempting to achieve realism the way that Stationeers does. I think it would not suit this style of game. I suppose savory food spice palette that I would be my preference would be Mexican. And not Tex-Mex, but Mexican. So not going on the massive heat sort of explosion sort of thing, going more for the flavor. Because I like the taste of chili, but I don't enjoy having my mouth feeling like I've just eaten paint stripper. I prefer to be able to taste my food. For me, sweating and feeling uncomfortable is not an enjoyable experience that I want associated with food. which I know a lot of people love their heavily hot stuff and for some reason get some joy out of it. I'm not one of them, but I can understand that some people do. I'm not one of them. Thanks, Evan. Like, I do enjoy a little bit of warmth, but I don't want something to make me go, yeah, I can't taste my next mouthful. Which, frustratingly for me, the heat of something like wasabi is not an issue. But some reason I'm really, really sensitive to the flavor of wasabi. And if I have even the smallest amount, I then can't taste the rest of my meal. All I taste for the next 15 minutes is wasabi. And for me, that kind of ruins the experience.
Jetpack on.
I don't know why it is. But because I love... Like, my close second to Mexican food would be Japanese. I love Japanese food, but yeah. Wasabi, for some reason, the flavor just overwhelms everything for me. So, like, even a little bit of wasabi mayo in a burger or something like that is all I can taste. If it's there. Which is odd. I don't know of any other flavors that do that to me. I'm probably going to need to put some coatings on these pillars and supports at some point, I reckon. Which may change up how I want to do the look. Or I'll leave it industrial and exposed wiring, I guess. Alright, what do we got? Wall long angled, long wide, diode slide, battery, round, light round angled. That does make it look like a very much a workspace sort of thing, if I were to use these sorts of lights. I just think if I'm going to put this... Oh, actually, what if I put it under? What if I did this? Where is that light even going to go? It's not going to go where I need it. Arrgh. So I need these to point down and I need some light to get onto the lockers. Oh. Apparently my hand drill is out of charge. Wasabi mayo is really commonly found around these parts. As a way to,
Jetpack on.
It's often on, like, chicken burgers. I like the idea of these lights. I'm just not sure how they'll go. I don't know how far they project their light out. Because if I were to put one over here, pointing down like this, and it lit the lockers up, that'd be fine. Might have to just try it. Let's cable that up and see. Cable it up super quickly. Unfortunately, it's now daylight, and so it's going to be harder to tell.
Jetpack on.
Okay, that is not projecting to here at all, really. Might be slightly getting the top of those, but that could actually be the sun. But you can see that it's lighting up down here a little bit. But yeah, it's not reaching that far. I worry the roof's too high. Hmm. Uh, the timing of this storm. Seriously? Gotta be kidding me. Alright, well, while this storm's going on, there's not much I can do because I can't jetpack up there because I'll get blown away. Uh, is there any difference in power output with the, like, input with the lights? Or do they all pull the same amount of power? Base power usage 50 watts. Base power usage 50 watts. Base power usage 50 watts. 50 watts. Seems like they're all the same, assuming the base power usage is the only power usage that they have. I'm slightly tempted to use these lights because this is sort of the industrial area of the base, so I kind of like the warehouse style grilled light. Because then I could just have them on the beam above and the next beam above. Though annoyingly, I think that's I really need something that can reach from the one beam to the next section. Oh, I just had a thought. Can I get there? That's not a locker, that's a pillar.
Light on.
Okay, kit wall. No, not that. Oh no! Oh no, I think I... Did I throw the walls down on the floor in the airlock? Yes, I did. Oh, it's the flat wall I needed. Dang it! Or padded. What I was thinking was the posts that I've got. I was wondering whether the posts would work as a light fixture. No, Evan, I can't think of a time I have. Yeah, I wonder if I can make some sort of pillar light out of padded wall pillars. Let's go inside and make them while this storm rages on. Oh yeah, Barnaby, that's a good option. Paint the light to see where it's going. MA Spotlights mod for the win. So, kit, padded wall. Yeah, so if I use this sort of thing as my pillar for the lights. Can I fix the lights to them though? No, so I'm going to have to place down a temporary wall to affix the light to then... Oh, that's going to be fiddly, but doable. So like I'd have to do... Oh, actually that means if I... Ah, nuts. So while, yes, I can make pillars, nice little pillars out of these, because they don't have an attachment point, if I make these pillars, they have to be on a corner for me to be able to attach the light to a wall, or they have to be along an edge. I have to attach the light to the wall, remove the wall, place the pillars. Because to be like, place that. Although I just placed a window, which is the wrong type thing to place. So we place a wall. Then... I guess you could do... Like if the roof wasn't there, you could do like a... Which light's going to look best?
Power low.
Maybe a long wide back to back would be a nice little lamp post. Light round. Let's try that. So then we get rid of that. Pick up that. And then... Oh, it won't let me place that next to it. Oh. Ah. That sucks. Why doesn't that count as support when the other bit does? It must be blocking on the light. Yeah, because if I was going to do that, I'd really want to have the padding all the way around so it was a post. And that then it'd then also nicely hide the cable that went down inside. Okay, so that's not an option. Good to know. And the storm's done, so we can go back outside. And it's nighttime, so I can mess around with how bright things are. Or not. It'd look chunky, but I think it'd look still nice, Andia. If you could do that, like I was hoping. Thanks, Moosey. Light off. How far does this actually go?
Jetpack on. Jetpack on.
And the other option is just putting these in. Thing is, what I want is something that's going to light the front of the furnace, which does mean it needs to be a light all the way over here, I think. Maybe this will? Let's try it.
Light on.
If I didn't have this floor here, wouldn't it? You place lights on liquid or gas tubes? No. No, they don't provide attachment points, unfortunately. But you do bring up an interesting point that I could use the... No, I can't, because you can't have cables in line with the pipes. So, like, you can't put a cable that way. Because that'd be cool. You'd pass the... You use a pipe as the post, and then you use the cable running down inside the pipe, and then it'd be nice and hidden. But that doesn't work either.
On.
Let's turn you off. Some very soft light on there. But the... Oh, actually, that in that position weirdly lights up all here. Even behind it. Why do I get the feeling the type of light you use makes zero difference to the lighting effect?
Jetpack on.
I'm seriously getting the feeling that there's zero difference.
Light on.
Oh, no, there's a bit. That's definitely a bit darker. And over here is a lot brighter. Let's
Jetpack
try...
on. Light on.
Is that gonna... Oh, won't let me place it there. I want to place it lower.
Jetpack low.
Oh. I'm gonna have to sort that out. I don't know what to do here.
Jetpack on.
So that's the big light. Ooh. I just had a thought. So, I could use these long wide lights. They have the cable coming off one side, which means I could then run a pipe that looks like a support. And then run the cable up nearer the roof, maybe? Hmm. Not sure.
Light
Just trying to
on.
think. I'm just trying to think of a way to make the lighting look good and also function with what I need. Because the problem I've got is this beam is behind this furnace, which means the front of the furnace, the bit that you're actually interacting with, won't be lit up. And this beam is too far away from the front of the furnace to actually light it. So I need a light somewhere in the middle here. And I think a light up on the ceiling will be really irritating for managing my cabling for the stuff I want to build above. And also, I think it will be a problem for the light being too far away from the ground anyway. So my options are dangle a light down, but then having a free hanging light kind of looks a bit weird. I know the cables are rigid in this, but they do look a bit weird as a support device. So I'm trying to think of a way I could use pipes or something like that to look like some sort of support structure. And I'm not sure how to best do that or which light style would be best for that. I guess if I had like a pair of pipes running from this side to this side and then run the cable in the middle and kind of wrap the cable up and around to reach it for these lights to be hung from it, it might look okay. I'll have a play around. Because as much as these are pretty chunky, I still don't feel like the wires look right, even in grey, as support cable. I think non-insulated pipe can look quite good though, because there was a base structure that was built that Capac and I came across when we played this previously, that was using the pipes as handrails, and I thought that looked really good and really neat. So I might have a bit of a play around with that concept. See what we can get to work. But first, I'm going to eat some food, drink some water, get some more filters, and get a thing so I can fill my gas tank up. And first step. Yeah, well, I could drop the ceiling down so that I've got a gap between the blocks, but I kind of like the depth that's added to the ceiling by having the beams be lower, which is why I'm trying to avoid doing that. But that is an option if I'm unable to avoid it. Why did I come to the... Ah, that's right. CO2 filter. Wait, what do I need for the fancy ones? Medium filter. Constantan. Do I have Constantan in here? Do. I really can't wait till I've got these moved into somewhere where I've got enough locker space that I can put all the ingots back in the lockers when I eject them out rather than having to put them back in storage. And silver. Be nice to have better filters. Funny paragraph from a moon-based book written by the guy that wrote The Martian. His main character talks about very fancy chandeliers everywhere in public hallways. She makes a comment that anywhere else it would be ostentatious, but since it's just melted sand, the glass is much cheaper than any other option. Oops, didn't mean to click then. Yeah, Ostuga, that's the sort of style of thing I'm thinking. I'm gonna have to build a few things just to toy with the idea. I'm trying to decide if there's any reason why I need to change, why I can't use my waste tank as my jetpack, but one of the reasons I don't want to do that is my waste tank has stuff that I would like to release in here. So, those are my better filters. Oh, actually, I might as well make 3 filters and have 3 good filters in. Oops. Makes more sense. So I have been having to replace my filters with fair regularity. So I need pipe. Just regular old pipe, which I think means I'm going to have to go get some... Oh no, there's enough iron there. Pipe ejections. Need lots of pipe. I should eat some of my tomatoes. Whoops. Yeah, Barnaby, the irony of needing a completed base/production facility so you can adequately test out all the options available to test the ideal base production facility is sort of this game in a nutshell. It's sort of a lot of games that I don't usually enjoy in a nutshell. I was talking about this with one of my friends, and his suggestion was that it could be that this has a bit more obfuscation and fudge factor of the numbers involved in having an optimum setup. Where games like Factorio, Satisfactory, they're very much, the numbers are right there in front of you. Or pretty much. They're not as hidden. But I'm not sure that's the whole story. But yeah, I wonder if that's part of why I struggle to enjoy those games the way that I can spend hours in this and enjoy myself. Alright, let's start with 40 pipes. That's something to go with. Yeah, Zeppelin 2, I just don't really want... I don't want to put any more effort into building this space up, even though maybe I should, before moving to my proper production facility. But yeah, I could have put lockers on the ceiling or something like that to give myself more options.
Jetpack on.
So, oh wait, I don't want to put my jetpack on yet. Dang it! I forgot to bring something out. Ah. What do we got here? What are in these tubes? O2, N2, H2. Nope. O2, N2, H2. Well, that's annoying. How did they get mixed? Ugh. Alright, what am I doing? I want a wrench. And... why am I... what did I do with... why did I put my pipes in here? Huh. So confused. So this is now cool. That means let's turn these on and empty it out. What I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring that gas over into this waste gas area so it can be filtered off. And then I'll move the bottle filler onto the nitrogen tank and then fill it up from there. Because hopefully by then the nitrogen tank will have enough pressure to be useful as a jetpack filler. Well, that processed that quickly. What's the maximum pressure that the little bottles can take? Yeah, my nitrogen's only at 633 kilopascals. It's actually pretty low. Oh, this is basically empty now. Let's go turn all these off. Okay, so if I start from here. And link this up to those other two pipes, and then I can link it up to one on the ground, and we should be right. Oh yeah, 10 megapascals. And don't forget that things get hotter sometimes. Good point. We can get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that. Oh, that's not the way I wanted that to go. Okay, now I can remove the rest of this pipe. That puts it... oh no, it's not actually connected yet. One sec. It's almost connected. Let's make sure I haven't messed this up. So that's pretty low pressure. Now I just got to link it to the other one, which means I need some better... where's my insulated pipe? There we go. It's one way to shift gases around. Yeah, that's true. That is... Oh, you could move gases around with bottles, I guess, but yeah, this definitely feels like the easier way to go. Okay, so what we got? We've got predominantly oxygen, nitrogen, and hydrogen. So let's turn that on, turn that on, turn that on, and see how much we can get rid of. Oh yeah, that's a good point. I need to rip up the tank thing rather than reusing it as it stands, because it'll potentially have some in it, I think. But by ripping it up, it'll get rid of it. Bottle fills don't have gas. I mean, I needed to move it anyway, but I wonder what I've done to stuff things up in the past that made me feel like they were the reason I got my bottles contaminated then. Yeah, Scruzz, if I mess this up, my situation will tank. Indeed. How is my CO2 tank going? 5 megapascals. That's alright, we're getting ready for our greenhouse. That's good. Ah, the inventory color dance. Nope. Jump too far. Alright. What is the pressure in this, and is it worthwhile using as a... kind of needs to be higher pressure than that. Could I put a volume pump before the canister filler? I could. I could pressurize one side of the line. Maybe that's the way to do it, to go. Alright, let's get some steel walls. Steel frames and build this up a bit. Don't think I've got any steel frames left, no. How does a pressure regulator work? Because what I want to do is create a higher pressure somewhere. Does a pressure regulator actively pump gas? Because if it doesn't, then that won't work. Okay, so it acts as a pump. Alright, let's try out that since I've never used one. Regulators are a slow pump. Okay, cool. So I want a regulator, and I wanted a couple of steel frames and steel sheets. It pumps until one side reaches the set pressure. Cool. Okay, yeah, that's exactly what I want. Thank you. Yeah, Gruz. I'm slightly enjoying slowly becoming a hydraulics engineer. See you, Moosey. Thanks for the chat this morning. I'm feeling good. about the new series?
Power low.
Stationeers, a pressure regulator, is a combination pump and regulator. Yep. Cool. Yeah, I wonder if the reason they made the pressure regulator act as a pump and regulator is because otherwise because the way Stationeers needs a volume between a volume pump and the pressure regulator, you'd end up with too high pressure in that tiny little airspace between the two. And so you'd never really be able to set up a proper safe system for pumping gases. And I wonder if this is their way of getting around that limitation and still allowing you to have a proper setup. I wonder if that's the reason. Feels like this might be some merit to what I'm saying, but who knows? I don't know this programming malarkey. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Ostoga and Kitamaru. If you guys are agreeing with me, then I'm probably not too far off the mark. Let's go put the light away for a second. So this has all come about because I was making lights. Which is kind of hilarious. Because I used up my jetpack. So now I need a jetpack thing. So let's go frame. Man, I love how quick this is. It is weird that it doesn't have an on-off like so many other tools do, though. No, wrench. Fine. Yeah, that looks nicer. That's how I want that. And insulated pipe. And pressure regulator. Ooh. That's a bit annoying. Kind of want the pressure regulator on the wall, but I can't. So I think that might be where I want it. But if I put it there, then the tank fill goes a bit higher up the wall than I'd like it, because it'll look a bit funny. So what I might do instead is move it along the wall. No, sadly you can't directly connect parts to one another. There has to be a pipe between them. I got this. Yeah, that works. That'll be neat. That's what I wanted. I just wanted a way to have that up on the wall, the pressure regulator, rather than on the ground. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Now I just need the black spray paint. There we are. Oh yeah, I need power too. That's a good point. That's easy. It's right here. Yes, there are far fewer explosions without Capac around. I think that's kind of default state for the universe. It's where I keep hearing a notification sound and it's not in my shed. I don't know where it's coming from. Alright, so the output should be at... We want to give a safety margin. I suppose I could go up to like 3 megapascals. Probably should have used a labeler. You guys reckon 8? Isn't 8 potentially a risk with how hot I tend to get standing next to my furnace? We'll go 4. Probably enough. I can't remember. In Stationeers, do I pass out if I go into a high CO2 environment and open my helmet? How much is left? Oh, I've still got... Okay, cool, because yeah, for the pressure I don't need much. Alright, I'm going to go halfway between my set pressure and you guys. I'm going to push it up to 6. Because I'm chicken. And nitrogen.
Jetpack critical.
Oh, hadn't finished filling.
Jetpack critical.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with a level that's a safer habit to form, rather than safe in this particular environment. Cool. All right. We have our tank fill now. Sweet. Oh, something I did because I managed to mine some water is I've now got heaps more water in this pipe network too. So I should have enough water for the greenhouse to have a bit of a water thermal buffer too. So now that I've got jetpack, I can get back to doing my lights. What is that sound? I'm gonna go close my door. 1 second. That's a very unpleasant high-pitched sound that I don't think was coming through my mic, but was really distracting for me. Right, so I need a wall, and then I need to pick where I'm going to put these lights.
Jetpack on.
So if I go... Yeah, that's the center. Right. Pop those walls there as a temporary fixture. No, Mike, I haven't heard of Trigon. The sort of... The FTL-like game that Capac and I played on one of our streams is the only thing we've played called Tachyons. Which is quite a fun multiplayer take on FTL. So if I had like light there, and then where's my other light? Another one around here somewhere, and then I'll take that one off. There we go.
Jetpack on.
So one there, one in the middle of that wall. And then another one. In line with those in the middle of this one. Just going to get rid of this cable and run it from the other side. That's the temporary hookup. Yeah, I haven't heard of Trigon. Is it single player like FTL, or is it something intentionally a bit different? Huh. That's inconvenient, not being able to see where the plug is. So my thought with these, I don't know how it's going to look. But my thought with the lights was... ignoring the cable that goes down to the ground, was to cable up, loop around, and then have the cable running along up here, above them. You guys should, if you like watching Capac play stuff, you should totally make sure he's aware of Trigon, because it sounds like he played FTL a lot more than I ever did. I enjoyed it, but he played it a lot. Like, I was never very good at it, whereas he actually was. So he might get a kick out of that one too. Alright, so that, then... And obviously I'll paint the cables. I just wanted to test this out before I did it. Grey.
Jetpack on.
And I was thinking like... nuts with that little bit there. I'll have to think about how to avoid that. I was thinking... could do pipes along like this. In fact, I can even leave the walls as support frames, couldn't I? They don't look terrible in this setup, but I think I prefer to do something custom like this. Oops, that's too far. That is further than I needed to go. What I was thinking was... that this might look okay. Something like that as a... if I have it on both sides and have a bit of a kind of a crosshatch support beam in the middle. That'd look like the lights then supported from those. And hopefully the cables will be hidden enough in that sort of setup.
Jetpack on.
Let's just test the lights, see if they're bright enough. which I'm almost certain they are. Yeah, see? This gives me the kind of universal, there's enough light around here to work by. I don't need my suit lights at all. It's single player, more campaign, less force to the next system, but nearly identical fighting, but better graphics. Yeah. Okay, I might have a look at it. Trigon. Let me put that in my thing so I don't forget about it. Alright, I need to fill my water bottle as well while I'm here.
Light on.
To remember to do that. Been walking around with an empty one for so long. See you, little Joe. Yeah, Laws. I get where you're coming from. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the amount of light here. The real test is just going to be to see whether it's enough. If it looks good enough. I think with that many pipes up there, you'll barely notice the cables. I think this should work.
Light on.
I'm going to need a lot more pipe, though. Where's my other stacks? Oh, my other stack. Okay.
Jetpack on.
Do that. Let's see what you guys think once I've got this kind of set up. I think it kind of works. I want to get this middle one done because I think that'll give the clearer idea. Yeah. I'll have to fix that bit of cable there after, but... Alright. Is this acceptable? What do you guys think? The pipes here are purely decorative. Unlike the rest of my pipes. But these are just decorative. Just to look like the lights are supported by something that looks like it could support lights. And I think at least from ground height, except from way back here, you don't really notice that the cable is way above it all. Hey, D. Wait, no, I need to wait. 1 second. D won't hear it immediately. I'm gonna wait. Fill up my water bottle. Do love having a water source in my shed. Hey, Dee. How's it going? Oh, I wasn't thinking the ads. There's just usually a bit of a gap between when you raid someone and when you can hear what's going on. Built the stupidest rover I've ever made. Well done. Is there anything I can do better with that cabling? Oh, I know. Whoop. I know what I can do with the cabling to make it better.
Light on.
Oh, wait, no, that's not a good idea. Rats. Yeah, Mastermind, all that work was for the lights. I wanted the lights to look good. Come on, you're watching me play a game. This is how I play games. This is how I do it.
Jetpack on.
I'm curious. Opinions. Do you guys think I should get... Thanks, Space Engineers Habits. Do you think I should get rid of this extra curve and just run the power line straight above this pipe? I think that might look neater and look a bit less weird and anti-gravity. Let's do half of it. Before I do that, rather than doing the whole thing to begin with.
Light on. Jetpack on.
I think it will be better this way. And it'll definitely be better once it's in grey, because you'll notice it heaps less. I'm almost tempted to make it hang further. Like go up here, and then bring the cable across. Something like that. Yeah. Yeah. I kind of like that.
Jetpack on.
Now I also need to run a cable separately to this, so it doesn't get in the way of the way the pipe's got to run. And then I can get rid of this temporary cable because I'm pretty happy with those lights. And run a proper cable all the way back down one of the poles. Something that I'll likely hook into... Oh, actually, if I'm going to hook into it, let's not run it at that point. Want to make sure it's out far enough away from the other from the next lights if I put more lights on. So let's run along this side. Yep. Well, I was thinking these lights might be automated rather than a switch, because I will likely enter and leave this area at random. So I was thinking, I thought it's pretty dark during the day in there. Yeah,
Light
you're probably
on.
right. A light switch is probably the way to go. I think manual control for this actually does make sense. Use a batch rider behind an APC or transformer. Yes. That's what I was thinking. So what I'm thinking is transformer. Wait, do I need a batch rider, or do I, if this is on its own circuit, if I've got my light circuit separate, all I need is a transformer to just power on or power off, and it'll be all the lights. Because I was thinking if I just have a big switch here. What sort of switches do I make? How do I make switches? I can't remember.
Power low.
Yeah, I know I could paint the cable black. I kind of want... I wanted it grey because it's blends in better with the stuff that's there. Electronics printer. So, what sort of thing do I use as a light switch? I should probably put a transformer on it anyway. Fridges, grow lights, Harvey, Ogre, Rover, Silo, solar panels, upright wind turbine, weather station, wind turbine, research machines, portable composter. Logic switch. Oh yeah, switch, yeah. Then I do want to put transformers in around the place. Just because they are a good safety feature just to... I should start implementing now, because this is a final thing. That switch will require 2 logic IOs. Wait. So there's no inline switch in Stationeers, like a thing that literally just cuts power or delivers power, other than the switch on the APC, which requires leaving it open. Is that what I'm to understand? The transformer has a switch on it. Yeah, I thought it did. Alright, let's play around with this logic thing anyway, just so I can mess with it. Let's get this iron, then I'll make the transformer, and then we'll come back outside and I'll fiddle. Get a logic IO. Okay, I'll get that. I'll get one of them too. That's a very 1950s sci-fi looking machine. Yes. Yes, it is, Tex. Oh, laws. You need to be careful with those voltage changes. They are more than meets the eye. Oh dear. Text fire follows up with, what a bad pun. And then followed by, oh my god. Yep, this is where we're at now. Logic IO. Logic IO. There we go. Almost revolting puns. The electrical puns, they're rather shocking. Resistance is futile. Yep. I encourage this. I am to blame. Oh dear. Logic writer switch. I think I just want to use the transformer. I do want it around this side though, because having it around the back just seems annoying for where the lights are. Because I can just be off, on, turn them on, get the lights on. Yeah. I figure for my purposes here, it doesn't make a lot of sense for me to make this more complicated than it is. I'm tempted to anyway, to mess with the logic systems, but I feel like since I will want to have a transformer here regardless, and all I need is a switch to turn the lights on and off, it doesn't make a lot of sense for me to add an extra switch when I've got a switch that's exposed anyway. Aaron Star, I have no idea what a power control board is. Like, I genuinely don't know what that is. Okay, let's go up and... all the lights should actually be switched on. Yay! We have a light switch. See? Off. On. Off. On. Light goes off. Light goes on. Light goes off. Bed goes up. Bed goes down. Hooray! I now have a way to use up lots of my power.
Light on.
Cool. Well, I'm happy with that. There's a functioning system. I'll just chuck that in there and that in there. I I guess what I also probably want to do is run some lights along. I guess I can run them on this beam for the other section of light. Because I'd like to have some lights down here with all my filters. But I also need... Oh good, I do have enough pipe.
Jetpack on.
Let's finish this. Yeah. Neat. Very neat. I'm happy with that.
Light on.
It's a pity that's kind of the only spot in my base where I've got enough light to work without my headlight. But it's a start. It's a strong start. Speaking of Transformers, I think our next challenge is a mobile city that breaks up into rovers to move, then combine to make Citytron. Tex, what are you suggesting? That doesn't sound good. I mean, it sounds fun, but it doesn't sound... It sounds so fraught with disaster. Yeah, Dragnon, I have not figured out a build alignment sort of thing in this. It's got enough fiddly bits that you can kind of make it work with however you want to do things. It'll be fine as long as it wears a sombrero. Valid. Don't dispute that point. Okay, so what should I be focusing on next? I'm going to put more lights in. Let's do that. But what area should I focus on next? Should I try and get greenhouse going and living area upstairs? Or no, I should move the production stuff into this space, which I think I will enclose the production area. But what I'll do for the production area is these chutes, they're going to go from the furnace right into the production area, so they'll bypass a lot of the problems that I have with not being able to get stuff in and out of the airlock. So I'll have the production area airtight, I think. So let's get some... I think 3 more lights will be enough to go with for now. Moving the fabricators sounds like too much work, Splitsy. It'll be quite the production. Yep. Yeah, I'll be honest, I haven't put any serious thought, or much serious thought, into what sort of thing I might do come next summer, like wrong way up, wrong way down. Because it's a ways off and I've got other things I'm trying to get off the ground. It's genuinely not going to be... It's going to be a while before we have another series like that. That I host anyway. Is my plan. There will be more in the future, but it's not something I want to do immediately. I think they're nice as a... I've mentioned this before, as a summer stream thing for me, because my summertime streaming times work better for Eurozone and don't have any significant impact on Aussies and Kiwis. Or the US. Yeah, your next summer is. My next summer is 5 months away. Think. Think. What am I thinking of? Lights go up there. That'll be fine. Then I need more steel frames. Yeah, I still go wrong way up. Did go into the wintertime shift. I hadn't thought about how I'd lined that up before. It's only as it's come to the end that I've been like, oh, it makes so much more sense if the Wrong Way series are an Australian summer series or a Northern Hemisphere winter series. Just makes more sense. Or some sort of big group stream thing like that. It also means that I don't, like, people won't get fatigued on the concept if it's an intermittent thing. Exactly what you say, Tommaso. That's kind of my thinking. Try new things, do different things. Wasted has a stream concept he'd like us to do. And I think I'd like to do, like, one where he's the host as well. I think that one's different enough to be a nice little change of pace. And yeah, I definitely have to share the lag burden. And how many of this am I going to need? I'm just trying to think about what I'm going to do for this production area. Might make some stairs too. Start playing around with some change in level. So I'm closer to the roof level because it's 3 blocks higher. Part of me, so many people have suggested subterranean approaches to the Wrong Way, and my answer is always going to be no. Unless there's something to make being underground visually interesting or varied, that would be the most boring thing ever, and I don't mean that as the pun. Yeah, the gravity in the middle could make tunneling through a planet, like through the center, slightly interesting, but you would have to have jetpacks off. And jetpacks off with high ping is next to unplayable. Yes, Laws, I am learning. The puns are infecting me. Let's stop at this one. Get some steel sheets instead. So, Karma's Evil Twin, there's the constant bombardment with meteors. Keen have broken Armageddon mode. Now, I think it's been broken for close to 2 years now. Armageddon mode does not work. Or at least it doesn't work like it used to, where it was actually a constant thing.
Jetpack on.
Right. So if I'm going to be all the way up here when I'm in my greenhouse, that's a pretty cool view. It's kind of nice being higher up. Um, do I want my production facility at the same elevation as this bit, or do I want to put it up at, say, this row? Yeah, let's do this row. I have an idea. Let's go get some stairs. I have an idea. That may be terrible, but could make the base interesting. Yeah, there's heaps of things that would be nice, that could be interesting if journeying in that method were more varied. So it's like sailing a boat around the Earth in the real world is hard because of waves, because of storms, because of isolation, all those sorts of things. Sailing a boat around the world in Space Engineers is go. And you're done. Using the water mod. Because there's no threat. And I personally don't believe that using human NPCs as I've done in Wrong Way Up would be enough to correct that. Same thing can be said for traveling in space. Same thing can be said for traveling underground. It's trying to come up with something that could be modded in that gives you an actual meaningful challenge along the way. Yeah, Dragonon, you'd need the Kraken, but again, once it'd be like it's so hard to get the cat and mouse thing to work in Space Engineers and actually feel like it's a real cat and mouse game and not just, yep, I've figured out a way to get away, it works now, or nope, I just had a complete wipe. So it's trying to find that the balance point between those two in Space Engineers is really narrow. But it's oddly wider when it comes to rovers. Because for rovers you have hills. For rovers you have weather. For rovers you have combat. For rovers you have all these different things that you can try and deal with. That's why the rover challenge for Wrong Way Down was what I came up with, because I was like, yeah, driving a rover pole to pole, that's hard. Even with no NPCs, that's actually kind of hard.
Jetpack on.
So what I'm thinking is, I go, yeah, stairs there, then a little landing. I could possibly have like little windows or something. Then next stair here. Ah, poop. That doesn't work. Drill, or is it granite? No, it's drill. That's not what I want to do. So what I was thinking was stairs here, a little landing, stairs here, a little landing, and then stairs up as the final one. Grinder, whoops. And then off this side here will be the floor for the production area. Ooh, actually, let's do even more decorative space. Let's do it off this side, yeah. You're all good, Tex. No stress. Actually, do I need that to be that wide for the production area? I probably don't. Yeah, let's go just this wide. Let's deliberately do it a different size. 5 blocks across.
Jetpack on.
So we'll have our little landing. I'll put little railings across those open sides. Have a little airlock into the production facility. And that can be our first test for, see if I can design a quicker airlock. Because we can do a nice little time test of it versus that one. But, like, my hesitance around these ideas is only at the moment. It's just because I can't think of a way to make them work. If I think of a way to make them work, or if someone suggests ones and I'm one of them like, yes, then that hesitancy will go away. It's not a, I think these are bad ideas. It's, I don't think I can make these ideas work right now. So I feel like I should make that clear. It's, I'm not saying when people suggest these they're bad ideas. I'm saying I can't make them work at the moment. Which I think is an important distinction to make. And they do get, like, a lot of these concepts do get suggested frequently, so I've usually got my response ready, locked and loaded, which is why it may come across quite like I haven't really considered it. It's because I've considered it previously, and I'm now just delivering that info. Idea, an easy challenge so the bots don't have to hold back as much. I think one of the problems you have with Space Engineers and combat is, even if it's not PvP, you still lose stuff that's valuable to you, and that still costs you time, and that still builds frustration. So yes, an easier setting would give us more stuff, so we wouldn't be as worried, but I think we'd still run into problems. I do want to try and make something like that work, but again, it's something I can't figure out what really works. And I need more steel, and I didn't bring it. Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, Escape from Mars does still function, and it has been kept up to date. I'm having a mental blank. Oh man, why am I having a mental blank? Oh, come on, brain. Oh, Wicco. Thank you. Wickerel. Wickerel's been keeping it up to date. Oh, man, that was so annoying. I hate it when that happens with someone's name. Yeah, Wickerel's been keeping it up to date and making it work. So Royal 1-1, a no-suit stream would be an interesting thing to balance. I think you could do it, but I think it'd be very hard to balance so that there's not heaps of standing around. One of the big problems I have with no suit or no jetpack is if I'm going to do that, it'd just be me and Capac. Tex, Wasted, Shaq, anyone who, Kanajashi, anyone who is not in the same country, trying to parkour in Space Engineers with lag is nigh on impossible, and it gets really frustrating really quickly, and it means the lag stuff that Wasted and Tex and DE managed to put up with pretty well gets even worse. Although mainly, I'd say Wasted puts up with it the best, but that might just because he is silent and doesn't. He mutes himself when he's whinging about it. No, Kitamaru, there's a separate mod that Wickerell's released, not the original one. But I'm pretty sure Wickerell's been keeping it functioning. He's still active. He's still around. I see him on Keen's Discord from time to time. But yeah, there are many concepts that I would like to do, but would require me playing them with Capac only. Which is what it is. Yeah, 400 ping and even just walking around can be a big problem because you end up... wait, let's get the stairs first. Because trying to walk near someone else... That's why I didn't make the stairs. Trying to walk near someone else can be enough of a problem. That you start kind of teleporting back and forth from the place you think you are to the place the server thinks you are, and it gets pretty awful. Which is really unfortunate because there are heaps of cool concepts that I think I could enjoy them with Capac, but I think both of us would enjoy them more if we played with others as well. And especially something like a no suit would be better with a larger team because it would force you to use the whole team because you would need that extra input, and
Jetpack on.
you'd overcome a lot of the challenges of the time it takes to build stuff by just having more people doing things. More people doing the mining, more people doing the processing, etc. It would just speed things up in a really useful way. But with two people, there's not really that economy of scale going on. Everything... It's obviously a little bit quicker with two people, but it's not as noticeable. Or maybe that's just because when it's two people, it's Capac. That is plenty big enough for a production room, I think. I would probably regret that statement, but I think that's a good place to start anyway.
Power low.
I wanted to bring iron inside so I can make another stair. Yeah, Aaron Star, I am never going to automate everything in this. The likelihood of me getting to a point where I've set up a full automated system is pretty low. Me setting up a base that looks kind of cool and has some manual functions, has some automated functions, and having fun doing that, pretty high. But fully automated, nah. I don't think I'd ever stick with it long enough to get to that point. Oh, Kitamaru, I actually kind of like that. A no cockpit or control seat run. Because you could allow thrusters, but they'd be high risk. Oh, I actually quite like that idea, pressing buttons to do everything. It'd give a reason to use rovers because they're safer. And you'd probably need a few people to set them up because you'd have that larger button panel and... Oh. That wouldn't be affected by jetpack either. It'd still work with having jetpack on. You'd still have the challenge. I really quite like that idea. No, TFE, not remote control only, button control only. Like, you'd have to use wheel overrides. That'd be pretty funny. I don't know how I don't know how well it works, but it sounds pretty funny. Can I be there when you pitch that to Capac? Yeah, I don't think I've got enough sheets either. I actually think I do need some more. So, do I need? I probably do need more sheets, but not that many. I should probably make some walls now. Kit walls. Kit padded walls. Kit flat walls. I think just regular old walls. Could you use player sensors to do stuff like stop and go? Yeah, you could. See, Laws, this is where you learn that I've found out how to properly block blocks out of the construction menu. Like in Escape from Mars. So, having scripts could be blocked by just turning off the programmable block. And the projector. And I know how to do that. Dance Dance Revolution Rover. I love it. Yeah, I could just turn scripts off in settings too. It's more fun getting rid of certain blocks. And having people go, what? Why can't I build? Uh-oh.
Jetpack on.
I fell in a hole. Never tell Catback about Dance Dance Revolution Rover. Oh, I'm out of... I need, what, 5 more. Just for the floor. And then probably a couple more frames for the corners so that it looks supported. Think, Arista, I don't know how you'd activate dampening for flying craft without a control seat. I don't think you can. Yeah, Corin, this is going to block some light to the panels, but that's okay. I'm going to be moving the panels eventually. I'm going to need more of those, aren't I? Does anyone remember roughly how long and wide that was? Because I don't. Let's just get the steel frames done that I need. Then I'll go out, put these lights up while I'm making more wall kits, because I'm going to need enough wall kits for the greenhouse and stuff anyway, so I'm going to need a lot of them. No. Dampening is not on by default. I think dampening requires a cockpit, maybe? This concept is merits further investigation, I think. I think there's something there. It's just working out some of the kinks that I haven't thought of yet. Like one of the issues is how do you make it so that you're going to move quickly enough for it to still be interesting to watch, but still have the challenge kept. That I'm not sure about. So I need... Wait. I need 1, 2, 3 for the second landing. Yeah, 8 should be enough. Let's get some steel sheets. Tex is over here trying to figure out how to go on a firefighter retreat right after the time you plan to start on that server. Yep. Yeah, I think I quite like the idea of this concept because the nice part about it is that you don't have to get rid of thrusters. Thrusters just become so dangerous, you're probably just not going to risk using them. Yeah. Like, I'm sure we'd try. I'm not saying we're not going to try at all. I'm just saying I don't think we'd risk using them much. Yes, laws. I'm sure they'd appreciate some ores on the planet. No, everyone else is using a Garrus. I don't want to be the same as everyone else. Blech. It's boring. You could call it wrong lever up. Yep. Make some more walls for me, machine. Huh. Yeah. I'm definitely going to put some more thought into this idea. This is a cool one. I can't even remember who suggested it now, which makes me annoyed at myself.
Jetpack on.
Ah, yeah. Thanks, Kinemaru. It was you, wasn't it? Apologies for not remembering. Okay. This is a good place to start. Walls. So, what I want to have is... kind of like the idea of this being a bit more open and having the door here. But that means an airlock that takes up some of this space. Oh, it is what it is. We're going to have an airlock there. No. Yeah, composite wall, type 2 that way. that way. So that's the inside wall of the airlock. Then we have an outside wall of the airlock. Wall there. Wall there. That's all walls. It's walls all the way down. So I'm going to want to have some, like a decent number of walls around the place for storage. But I also want to have some windows so that I've got, you know, a little bit more visual interest. What I might do is go... Let's go composite wall in the corner here. A couple like that, and then we'll go to window here. Let's see if I regret those windows later. Couple of windows over here. Couple of windows over here. Make it not perfectly symmetrical. Leave some gaps. Yeah. Okay, so that'll be my walls. I do kind of want to lift this up so I've got a bigger volume, so I'm not just roof right on my head. I agree in thinking someone else has suggested it, Kanemaru, but apparently you are the one who made it capture his attention. For good or ill, only posterity will tell. Yep. That's all fair. Can't dispute any of that. Oh, I need plastic sheets for all this, don't I? Okay. Yeah. Ooh, maybe I'll do that. I was just thinking of making this end 2 blocks high and then kind of cutting it down and then going single block for the rest, just to add some more variability in the elevations of stuff. Because one of the things that's really easy to a lot harder to do in Stationeers than in, say, Space Engineers is give things interest, because you work on such big sizes and because there's no slopes that are airtight. Crew served guns. I mean, like, you could have NPCs the way that Wrong Way Up has NPCs. They're just humans and have the same restrictions that streamers do. That's certainly a doable thing. Don't know whether it's a smart thing, but it's a doable thing. I'm out of silicon. All right. Let's go smelt some. Yeah, I think this could be a viable option for a series, which is really cool.
Jetpack on.
Oh no. Just realized something I've done. I'm going to have to put the light that's here at a different spot. It's not going to line up with the other ones. That's going to annoy some people. Do I just do one light? Nah. Do one there, and then I'll do one here. Maybe one down here. Let's just drop these off so I can now do my cabling.
Jetpack on.
And along we go. So after all that discussion about the switch, how many of you guys think I'm actually going to use the switch, or are the lights just going to stay on all the time? Because I think they're probably just going to stay on all the time. So I'm going to forget, unless I start running low on power. Does look kind of cool though. Looks much nicer when you've got not just suit lights. Makes a big difference. Cool. Cool.
Light on.
Ah, smelting. That's what we need to do. Smelt some silicon. Lights all the time, followed by lights off all the time, followed by flickering as brownouts happen. Yes. That's probably true too. Do. And that'll do. Ignite. Didn't mean to do that. Oh, I might actually have to go mining for some silicon at some point. I think I've still got enough to get through what I'm building now, but I think this is getting close to running out. Oh, that's what you want me to do. Yeah, Barnaby, you know what? Not today, but I do actually want to try and set up some stuff so that I can see the I do actually want to set things up so that I can see what's in this properly without getting the tablet out. That'd be nice. I'm not sure when I'm going to do that, but I do want to do that at some point. Xenocide, that's not snow. That's an indicator to show you which way the air around, the gases around me are moving. They are similar to airlocks consoles in the complexity setup, though they are only good for temp, pressure, and an ingot, if an ingot will be made when you open it. Okay. That's still useful. Leave this one out. Plastic sheets. Do I have some plastic sheets left over from the early days? Iron sheets, glass sheets. Can't see any. Probably need to make some more glass too for the windows. I'll be back in just a second.